What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Armchair Wrestling. I'm your host, as always, top boy and number one booker, Alex Bennison. We're going to switch up the intro this time. We are joined by Mr. Soko Uncensored himself, Casey.
Hello.
And lukewarm Jack Robshaw.
Mate, I'm a Yorkshireman. Change is not good. You don't change the order like that. I'm good, mate. You?
I am not bad, and we're only a couple of days removed, but it feels like it was forever ago. Everyone's favourite pay-per-view of the year, the Royal Rumble.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Great Balls of Fire.
It's close. We are going to run through the Rumble, and probably, like I said in the how I've shared this, probably add a comedic twist. Probably not.
Comedic, that's a stretch.
Yeah, you've come to the wrong place if you want comedy.
Now, speak for yourself, boys.
No. So we'll.
Sorry, is our reputation as a non-comedic podcast warranted? Yes.
Hey, that's how we're known in the community. Have you not seen our TikTok?
No,
I don't have TikTok.
I'm 31 years old. I don't know what a TikTok is.
It's what a clock makes, god damn it.
That's Kesha's song. I'm old enough to know it's a Kesha song.
You didn't even say Karrion Kross. I'm disappointed.
Who's he?
Well, according to what the fuck is his name now? Vince Russo. Only a third.
This'll be a good opinion then.
It's a hot take right here.
According to Vince Russo, only a third of main roster watchers know any of the NXT superstars.
I don't know. I have no idea whether that's true or not.
So he says that you shouldn't just bring someone up and push them for the main event.
Why? When have they done that? When?
Balor.
Roman Reigns? I don't know.
Yeah, Balor. That's it. And he got broken immediately.
You know, like when Vince how Vince went off Dolph Ziggler as soon as it was the second time he injured his shoulder or something. Do you think Vince went off NXT when Finn Balor got injured?
Yeah, Finn ruined it for everyone.
Now Seth ruined it for everyone.
And speaking of ruining things, how do you ruin a perfectly shit pre-show? You have this match, Asuka and Charlotte versus Nia and Shayna.
I couldn't really bring that. I mean, I think the right team won in the end, so that's a good thing. But I just cannot bring myself to care about this Charlotte and her dad drama. And it's very disrespectful to just refer to Ric Flair as Charlotte's dad, and that's why I'm doing it. Yeah, but I cannot bring myself to care about that aspect of it. My biggest care is why is Asuka such a non-factor in all of this when she's awesome and also the champion.
You mean the Bret Hart of the division here? Yeah. Look, Asuka's dead good and all, but look at Charlotte. Yeah, that's where we want you to look. Now we'll put the belt on Asuka. That's fine. Like that doesn't even mean anything. She'll put on great matches against a one-eyed Nikki Cross or pretending to be a pirate or something like that, and Jean-Pierre Lacrosse. I might be going off on one here.
That gimmick must be due for a comeback after. I mean, the loving eyes at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, I could care less about Lacey and Charlotte's issue.
Don't be an American. Less. You're not American. It couldn't care less. I could care less means you care quite a bit.
Or at least you have the ability to care less.
Yeah. To be honest, the only way it's going to make me care is if Charlotte comes out and cuts a promo at Lacey and goes, "Fighting you would be like fighting my dad's girlfriend, mate."
Again.
We knew this result before it even happened, and I think everyone knew how it was going to go down as well. Can someone explain to me though how when instead of like Lacey got past something by Rick, I thought it was brass knuckles at first, but when you watch the replay back, she puts nothing on her knuckles. She grips something and punches her. How does gripping something make your punch more powerful?
I thought it was a sweatband, so I thought it actually padded the punch a little bit.
Yeah, as if you hold something in the middle of your hand that isn't sticking out, it might it might still hurt, but you'll almost certainly break a finger.
Yeah.
The stupid thing is as well, like, and I dare say this is for something that come up on like ICW or something, but if you're going to punch someone, like, don't dick around with like brass knuckles. The key is to put a key between your fingers and really go for it.
Yeah.
And put puncture wound in a head.
Yeah, I mean, I know full well that's what I always do when I'm out happy slapping.
Wow. Happy slapping is something I've not heard of for a while.
Yeah, that's an old reference. Again, I'm 31.
To be fair, happy slapping, for some reason, that word goes hand in hand with Jonathan Ross for me, and I can't remember why.
I've no idea.
I do think we need to talk about, as I pointed out during the match, Nia's leg drop, which is falling to sit down. There is no elevation on that thing whatsoever.
Well, in fairness, would you trust her to do it with any elevation?
That's fair. But at the same time, look at this monster. She's sat down on the floor. It's not the most threatening looking thing.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, we all said when she came back from, I can't remember if she had both knees done or if she just had.
I'm fairly sure it was both knees needed doing.
We said that she didn't look as crisp in ring, and she seems to have got a bit further down that line now.
Yeah, the main thing was that she's got the size and the power, and that is very good in ring, but she was, considering all that, she was pretty quick before the knees went. And she's lost that. It doesn't help. And I mean, as I've got a knackered knee, jumping up into a leg drop would be horrendous for me. So if I was her, I wouldn't. And also, they do say that a leg drop completely knackers your hips, so it's probably a good idea to not do it with too much force.
Or just not do it at all.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. Death Valley Driver. That's what she needs to do.
I mean, she used to do the Samoan drop.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's WWE. Does every Samoan do the Samoan drop?
Yes.
I believe in Samoa, they just call it a drop.
Yeah. I know that the NXT Women's Dusty Cup means that whoever wins that gets a tag team title shot.
Have they announced that yet? Because I still don't believe they have. Unless they announced it last night, because I've only had a chance to sort of half watch NXT.
I don't know if they announced it last night. I thought that was just the case.
No, I think everyone said this is what they should do. And everyone assumes that's what they're going to do. But I don't think they've actually said it.
Yeah. Is it going to make you care about the women tag titles, though?
If they put them on... If someone like... If, for example, Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez won the women's tag titles, yeah, I would suddenly care.
Yeah, fair enough. I can't tell if Casey can hear anything.
Yeah, I'm just ignoring you.
Ah, right.
Because he wouldn't care.
Right.
I was actually looking to see if I could find anything about whether there's a women's title shot at the end of it. But here, yes, apparently so. Winners earn a match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships against Nia Jax and Shayna, as also correct would have you believe, Blazer.
Cool. All right,
Nice.
well, cool.
So, moving on. What a way to open the show. Drew versus Goldberg.
This was exactly what it needed to be, really. Short, with a rest spot after that spear through the barricade to make sure he didn't get too blown up. Drew won easy. Goldberg says this is the guy. I don't want to see Goldberg matches, but if you're gonna do it, that was about as well as you could.
Yeah, but there's nothing that says, oh, we're in a global pandemic and you really shouldn't, be within 2 meters of each other. You shouldn't be coughing near each other, and Goldberg coming out of his fucking locker room and just spitting at his security.
Yeah, that was weird. I remember because we all individually, we weren't breaking rules. We all had like a video chat open while we were watching this, and I remember you noticed that immediately.
Fucking absolute asshole.
And yet Carlito didn't bring an... Oh, sorry, spoilers. Carlito didn't bring an apple and spit it in someone's face. He showed restraint.
He did bring an apple, though.
Oh, did he bring an apple?
Yeah, he brought an apple and shined it up, and it got taken off him by someone in the room.
I remember now.
By a person.
But yes, he didn't spit in someone's face.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they get COVID or steroids, one of them.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. God, he's ripped for his age, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in tremendous shape. He came out and all of us went, well, he's getting hired.
Yeah, it's weird. There's a photo going around of him stood in the Rumble, and the only place he's got baby oil on is his abs.
I mean,
nowhere else.
You know what? I'd happily paint that on him, to be honest. That's how good they look.
You see, I'm using olive oil so I can lick it off later.
That is an excellent Scrubs reference.
We all pointed it out as well. Goldberg's biker shorts.
Not even biker shorts, just... I'll tell you what, I'm comfy around the house shorts.
Yeah. I think that, to be honest, that was what... I mean, it looked... When he first came out, it looked a bit weird because you're not used to it, but they look fine. Just like all else. I don't particularly care about what shorts he's wearing. I just want to know, can I be in... I mean, obviously, I'm in not even in 1% as good a shape now, and I'm 20-odd years younger. But when I get to 54, can I be 0.1% in as good a shape as Goldberg? Because then I think I'll live forever.
You'll have to start working now.
No, I don't want to work. That's the key.
You'll have to stop eating and drinking then.
Or start injecting.
Not even alcohol and bad food, just in general.
Yeah.
We do have a comment. Daz, Shinsuke took the apple.
Yeah. I could remember someone could, but obviously it was what, 3:30 in the morning or something for us.
To be fair, if COVID wasn't a thing and Shinsuke was still a heel, I can imagine him taking the apple and taking a bite and just, chomping it mouth wide open like a dickhead right in front of him. But yeah, this match, it was everything that it should have been. Goldberg was incredibly sweaty for how little they did. Whether he'd been bashing his head against doors before he came out again, we don't know. But it's also, I said this on the night, and it still didn't look great, but it is the safest jackhammer he's done in a couple of years. Yeah,
if you're going to get the rotation wrong, that way, so the feet hit too early, is far better than the other way. His feet hit a bit early, but it was safe as anything. It was, not perfect, but it's a lot better than dropping him on the head and neck.
Yeah, and speaking about dropping someone on the head and neck, next match, Sasha Banks versus Carmella. God, she almost did a Lita.
Yeah, she had a good go at it. This match was pretty good. It wasn't as good as the last one they had. That was better. But it was fine. Carmella, I think, as this gimmick change, although it sometimes looks a bit, it can be a bit hokey and stuff, I think she's done a really good job of it. She's not going to be up with Bayley, Sasha, anyone at the top of the card, but she is good for that level below, and she's just keeps getting better at it as well.
I have nothing to add to this because I was moving my setup to a different TV and then my internet cut out.
Oh yeah, this is when yours all exploded, wasn't it?
So I literally missed the entire match.
To be honest, I mean, you didn't miss that much, other than we all said this live. The guy on the outside, and his name escapes me again. Smiley, is it?
No, he is a sommelier.
Okay.
Which is a wine
What-
expert. Reginald.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
he was Somalian.
That is what it sounded like when they said it on commentary. And then I flipped Twitter on to see a load of people going, did they just call him Somalian? So it must have really sounded like it. But him getting... I'm assuming you get onto him getting kicked out of the match.
Yeah, he got kicked out for doing nothing but getting beaten up.
Yeah. Sasha Banks came flying at him. He catches her, which just doesn't do a move on her. She hurricane ranas him, and he gets kicked out. God, it's like dealing with bouncers on a night out. You don't try and stop anything because you're getting kicked out.
I'm not drunk, I swear. Yeah, I mean, I didn't probably give this match the same attention that I probably should have done. They did well, but I can't wait for Banks to move on to her next feud now.
Yeah, well,
Oh, the dearth of talent.
Now I'm going to say the next one will probably be a short one, but the one afterwards should be very good.
Yeah, because the next match on the card, the Women's Rumble. There was part of me that were thinking, if any year they're going to run one Rumble and then go straight into the next Rumble, they could have probably done it this year with no crowd, without having to have the filler match in between.
Yeah.
It's not like anyone's going to have to queue for the toilet.
Not no one. I mean, I'm sure that there were some people who were dumb enough to have 20 people around in the middle of a pandemic.
The first thing I thought before this match even started was, I know they do the Royal Rumble by the numbers promo every year, but this year it seemed to go on for it felt like 10 minutes. God, it was a long video.
Oh shit! You know what we didn't mention? During Goldberg's promo, Chris Benoit.
Oh yeah.
Out of every fucking clip they could have shown of Goldberg, in WCW spearing someone, they picked the one with Chris Benoit laid on the floor.
Yeah, because they showed it once on the pre-show and once before the match, and you saw it on the pre-show, which I didn't see. Obviously, we did watch the pre-show, but I didn't have it on. I wasn't looking at that bit. But I'm sure when they showed it before the match, he was just like laid down in the background, wasn't he?
Yeah, with his lovely mullet.
Yeah, selling his ribs.
In his murderous face. What?
No, this is young Chris. He didn't have a murderous face then.
Oh, sorry, with his wife stealing face.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably about that time as well. Yeah, out of every clip, WWE. I mean, I know it's a thing, like with the Rumble when they do it, and like you see his leg or something laid out in a Rumble, and someone goes, "Oh, they've just shown Chris Benoit's leg." No, this was his face.
Yeah, it was only there for a second, but that's the thing. Normally, you wouldn't notice something like that. But I think that because you're so used to them making such an effort not to show him, if you catch even a slight glance, your brain immediately jumps to it. It's why that spot in the Edge and Randy Orton match at Mania got everyone immediately, because you're so used to avoid anything to do with him that the second there's anything that can even remind you, you're straight on it. Whereas if it was out to do with someone else, you'd probably miss it.
Yeah, I think there's a difference, though, between show him getting speared by Goldberg, hang yourself from a weight machine.
Yeah.
Listen, at this point, Chris Jericho probably thinks that's a conspiracy theory, so who knows?
Yeah, weirdly, he thinks it was an outside job.
Yeah. Magic bullet or something like that, I don't know. Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, moving back to the Women's Rumble. So on backstage, on the Saturday, they decided to have a match between two veteran competitors to see who would enter 30 in the Rumble and get that upper hand. And those two were Natalia and Tamina.
Well, I like one of those people.
Yeah, to be fair, Tamina is good in the ring.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you kind of think, like, I understand you're putting a match on backstage, so it's not going to get a whole lot of attention. But surely the logic to that would be that you give a week's notice and say, you know, we're going to have Bayley and we're going to have Charlotte, and those two are going to have a match on backstage to decide number 30. Because, one, it's people who matter, and two, like, no one's going to go, holy shit, guys, gotta watch backstage this week, Natalia versus Tamina.
I think that they knew there's no point in actually really having a go at getting viewers to backstage, because
But what,
people
like,
didn't-
why
people
bother
didn't-
then? Put it on TV on the 3 fucking hour-long show that they have a problem filling.
I think it was probably because Fox asked them to, and they don't have a 3-hour show on Fox.
Christ, like,
But no, like I was gonna say, no one's ever gonna watch backstage. People didn't watch it when CM Punk was on it.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
I just think if you're gonna do something, like, because they have this attitude. I know this is kind of going off at a tangent now, but WWE have the same attitude to, like, booking a TV show as I do to homework when I was a child. Like, I could find any excuse not to do it because most of the season, like, well, there's no point trying. It's Halloween, this week, and there's no point trying in a couple of weeks' time. That'll be Thanksgiving.
You thought about that as a child?
Well, no,
That's
but
weird in Britain.
But then, like, every Monday night there's a football match on. They're like, well, you know what? We'll just commit to the first hour and then call the other two a write-off. Like, no, try. Like, I want to watch your show. Like, bring me in.
I want you to want me to want you to watch the show.
Is that
yeah.
Games?
Mind games, Michael. Yeah, and Natalia won. I didn't even bother going to watch the match. I didn't ask to know who. I didn't watch backstage because, one, I didn't want to know who was 1 and 2 in the Men's Rumble before the Men's Rumble. But I also couldn't give a fuck about going and watching this match. So, you know, when Tamina came out before Natalia, that was the giveaway.
Yeah.
So we'll start with number 1 and 2. Number 1, Bayley.
By the way, just before I forget, it was good to see, though, that losing that match got you really kayfabe punished by Tamina having to come out so early at number 25.
Yeah.
If you lose a match for number 30, you should be out in the first 5.
Like, that's what I always loved about the Raw versus SmackDowns, that you'd have to win a singles match to guarantee it, but then they'd always give you another go. But then it was like, you could go in a triple threat where if you win, you're 30. If you lose, you're number 1. And if you're the other person, you're 15. I'm like, I like that. That's solid reasoning right there.
Yeah.
And again,
and stood on the outside and went, that'll do me.
You know what? That's 15 minutes of television time taken up right there.
Yeah, Bayley coming out, and she went to the commentary booth, and she showed something, but none of us saw.
She had Cole shaved into her head.
Oh, I never
Michael
saw
Cole
it.
was not there.
And then Michael Cole wasn't on commentary.
Yeah. And number 2, making her second return in 2 years at a Rumble, Naomi.
Who looked great, as she always does when she comes back, and is really good. But they don't seem to be able to quite book her even close to properly.
I was going to say, because the first time they put the women... I think it was like the SmackDown Women's title when they put that on her.
That first run of SmackDown when it was really good.
Yeah. back in 2003 when it was Naomi and Kurt Angle and Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah. The first bit of this brand split.
Yeah, I always thought she was quite a good champion for that, and I enjoyed her run. And then that stopped, and that's kind of been it.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, she's had a few injuries, and she did disappear for a bit. I believe there was some mental health issues that she decided to take herself off TV for, which is fair enough. If you feel like that, do that. It is the best for yourself. It has been a shame that, but to be fair, you say that first run with the women's title, they took it off her because she couldn't defend it, and then at Mania, and she ended up in the Mania match anyway.
Yeah, and won as well because it was in her hometown, wasn't it?
Yeah. So number 3, Bianca Belair, and I believe this is the same number she came out last year as well.
I don't know about that, but you may well be right. I know that she eliminated a shitload of people last year.
Which was not so much the case this year.
No, they were quite spread out this year. I thought that, I mean, we'll talk about her more because obviously she won. But she was, she looks great in everything. She's still, to this day, the only person I've ever seen, and like the first time that I watched them, I went, that's your star. It was like in the Mae Young Classic when I first saw her, straight away I went, right, you, champion.
By the way, Alex, you could not have been more wrong about last year. She was number 2.
Yeah. You are not even close.
That is pie all over your face.
Yeah. She must have won number 2 in a backstage match the Saturday before.
Yeah, just remember, Price is Right rules. It's closest without going over. 3 is higher than 2, so you lose.
Good day, sir.
Yeah.
Number 4, Billie Kay doing, someone had to do the spot of, I'm not getting in the ring yet. I'm going to wait for someone else.
Yeah.
If the reason for her doing the gimmick she's doing now wasn't so batshit insane, I actually quite enjoyed this. Like, she went on
Billie
commentary.
Kay is good at what she does.
Yeah, like I enjoyed her going on commentary. Her then approaching everyone with her headshot and CV on the back, and everyone's reactions to it. Shayna Baszler with what seemed like the worst punch to paper I've ever seen, because I think she lost grip of the paper, so the paper just kind of wafted gently back. But
I can't remember where I saw it, but there was an excellent joke on Twitter when she punched the piece of paper with a headshot on it. Someone just said, "Well, it had to be weak because they've banned unprotected shots to the head."
I
can't remember who said it.
I thought she probably only had one printout copy, and the rest was just like paper with nothing on it. Don't break this one. It's not you.
Wait, hang on. All these are blank. Shut up. If you walk around and look busy, no one asks you to do anything.
Yeah, so she had her spots of coming up to everyone who came out after her. Number 5, Shotzi Blackheart, in her tank, and didn't run her over. She shot something at her that missed.
The world's largest Nerf dart.
Yeah, which, the problem is that they've already done the best spot they're ever going to do with that when she shot it and hit Austin Theory in the balls.
Yeah.
But she's never going to do it better than that, so...
Like, my groin! Like, you can't top that.
Yeah. You've already alluded to it. Number 6, Shayna Baszler coming out and work punching a piece of paper. Number 7, Toni Storm. Didn't do anything.
She just, obviously she's heel now. So, but that just, the look of disdain she had for that headshot was impressive.
She came out, at this point, Shannon was awake. So she stayed awake for the start of the Women's Rumble. And as she came out, Shannon went, God, her ass.
Yeah. Well, it'd be lechy if I said it. Luckily, your missus said it. But yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I believe thick with a double C.
Yeah, very much so. And also, she's really good. She's really good as Toni Storm. I don't know what it is. There's something about her promos that I don't like, and I'm not even sure what it is.
I think it's the accent.
No, it's not. It definitely isn't that. There's just
yeah, mate. The reason you're going to lose this match is because you suck.
I think it's a bit like when. So I think it's got a touch of the Kenny Omega promos, the one when he does the ones I don't like, where it's too over the top. I think Tony Storm's got a bit of that.
Where he goes too anime.
Yeah.
The thing I don't like, and I know it's not really her, but I think the term "it's Tony time" just sounds ludicrous and makes me think of Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, I was just going to say, does it make you think of Frosties?
Yeah. and then I get hungry and I stop watching.
So number 8 was a really weird entrant for us, because earlier on we were talking about Charlotte and how she'd had her mole removed, and someone brought up the boogeyman eating growths off people's faces. So at number 8, Jillian Hall.
Which, that was... I really like Gillian Hall being in it for one reason. That's not a return I saw coming.
No.
And that was enough for me to be happy.
And
Billy and Jilly.
Yeah, we got the great tag team.
Billy and
Jilly.
Christ.
I mean, I don't think Jillian Hall... sometimes you see people come back after 10 years and you're like, oh, they haven't missed a step. All of that stuff. I didn't really see that with this, but it didn't need to be. She did her spots well enough.
Did she have a step in the first place?
I will say now, though, which legend was not in this match? Beth Phoenix. Never seen in the same place.
She's still got a concussion from last year.
Same person, I'm telling you.
They don't even look that alike.
Listen, if I say it enough times, people will start to think it, though. If I push it enough.
There's a lovely photo going around of JBL and Jillian backstage as well.
Oh, yeah, she had to hang out with JBL. Poor lass.
She had to be part of the cabinet.
Yeah.
Could have been worse. Could have been Michael Hayes.
Yeah, true.
Number
Could
9.
have been insert any number of people from the 70s, 80s, 90s.
2000s.
The current wrestling scene.
Yeah, Brit
mostly
especially.
British. Yeah.
Moving on. Number 9, Ruby Riott.
Deserves better.
I like Ruby. I always thought, if I remember rightly, so I always loved her indie name. I think it was like Heidi Lovelace or something like that. I always thought it was a great wrestling name. I always thought it was a great wrestling name, especially now that you have to have two T's in Riot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as she entered, we got our first elimination, which was Shotzi being eliminated by Shayna.
Oh, yeah, I forgot she was first because I was really annoyed because I had her in the sweepstake. Not the sweepstake we did on here, a different one.
Shayna basically murdering someone live on TV.
Yeah.
Just hanging someone by her arms.
I don't think that was this elimination. It was the next one, I think, was the one where she hung her. But, yes. So number 10 was a return that everyone's been kind of waiting for, but hasn't happened until now. Victoria.
Yeah, I was very pleased to see this. Victoria was always great and really good in TNA afterwards and stuff. Just always excellent. And they teased us, was it last year where they tested the Titantrons with her video on it, and someone was outside and snapped a picture of it, so it went all over Twitter. So everyone was like, "Oh, Victoria's coming back," and then she didn't.
See, having Victoria around, and I say having her around very loosely, I think she'd be great to have around for a month for a feud with Sasha or something like that.
Yeah, especially this month, because they're gonna do 2 pay-per-views between now and Mania, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're gonna do a Chamber and a Fastlane.
Yeah, because Fastlane's the first one on Peacock.
Yeah, so if they're gonna have to sneak in that many, a little 3-week feud with Victoria comes back and fights Sasha for the belt, that would be great. I'd really like to see that.
Yeah, and I don't know when it was that she announced her retirement. But I'm sure WWE have got enough money. You know, they fired all those
mate,
people.
have you not seen how many cuts they've made this year?
Yeah, they've got no money. Don't look at the record profits. They ain't got any.
Or all the fireworks.
Yeah.
For those indoor events with no...
There was a lot of fucking fireworks for an empty arena. I'm saying now, Doc Gallows was looking at it going, Jesus, like, come on, if you're going to release this to save some money, like, would you not use pyro at every opportunity in a single night?
I'd probably use an example of someone who wasn't delighted to be let go.
Well, I mean, after the barren spell of pyro in WWE, it felt like chuffing 1998 WCW, just fireworks going off everywhere.
Yeah, you know, the NXT have done well because they've had the performance talent as well as the LED bars behind that have had the fans on. And it's give that bit of filtered crowd noise with a bit of real crowd noise. Because although we know their talent that are there hired to go watch it, they're probably, most of them are still fans and probably do react the same way that some of us do. But
I mean, if I was there, I'd definitely be going, like, just chanting the complete opposite of whatever they would want me to chant.
And that's why you'd get fired.
Nah, it's fine. I'd be a decent promo. It's cool. I'm a body guy as well.
You couldn't get over your accent.
Me and Lars Sullivan will be fine.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Moving on. Number 11, Peyton Royce. Yeah. Number 12.
Yeah.
I like Peyton Royce, but there's nothing to get particularly excited about at the minute. She's not someone you ever think is going to win the Rumble.
No, well, I mean, I had her in the sweepstake. I really thought she was going to go the distance.
Yeah.
Number 12, Santana Garrett.
Santana Garrett, and this isn't having a go because it's not her fault, I legitimately forgot worked there.
She feels like one of those that could well have been released when they made like a round of NXT cuts. Well, because it's not like they use her on NXT.
She's not even in NXT. She got called up to the main roster in like May and hasn't been on TV since. She did one NXT in like July, but she actually got called up in the summer and they just didn't do anything with her. Like when they called up Vanessa Bourne and then she was never on TV.
Is this at the same time when they called up? Was it Chelsea Green that got called up, but she got injured?
Yeah, Chelsea Green. Well, she got called up. They didn't do anything with her for about 6 months, and then she had a match and broke her wrist.
I feel the pain on that one.
She was also going to be in Retribution, but I don't know which was worse, broken wrist or Retribution.
Being in Retribution. It's definitely better to be out injured at the moment.
Yeah, like I've broke my wrist a couple of times. It's not that bad.
I broke both at the same time, mate. Miserable.
Yeah, but you were a teenage boy at the time, so
yeah, couldn't even play FIFA.
Yeah.
Number 13, Liv Morgan. Again,
yeah,
she's got better.
I quite like Liv Morgan, but again, same problem as Peyton Royce. Never gonna. You don't think, there's nothing really to say. I hope that her and Ruby can have a decent actual run and maybe win the tag belts.
Yeah. This part of the Rumble was where we got the Billie Kay. She was in 3 different tag teams. She was part of the Riot Squad, part of Billy and Jilly, and teasing the Iconics again.
I must admit, she sold that quite well when they went for the Iconics pose out of habit, and she like started and stopped halfway through. That was actually quite good.
We also got our next 2 eliminations here. We got Jillian Hall being eliminated by Billie Kay and Billie Kay being eliminated by Liv Morgan.
I'm amazed that you're even bothering with the eliminations, really.
To be honest, I'm thinking at this point, the way this podcast's going, I'm probably going to stop except for the main ones. So, number 14, Rhea.
Yay. Be on the main roster properly now.
Yeah, I think she was one of the unannounced that everyone knew she was announced.
Yeah.
15 was Charlotte. She was the one other in that triple threat match. 16 was Dana Brooke. Again, I don't know if Dana Brooke was announced or not. Was she in the graphic?
I have no idea. But Dana Brooke works really hard, puts in 100% effort, has got miles better, never going to get a proper chance to do anything because unfortunately there's people who are just better than her. And she always works her ass off. I mean, her elimination, taking that power bomb basically on the apron.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't half-ass anything. So I've got a lot of respect for Dana Brooke.
Yeah, KC got a concussion watching that elimination. Number 17, Tori Wilson, wearing the same ring attire that she did on her first return.
And looking fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's playing the game with your missus of how old is Tori Wilson?
I'm sure Shannon said something like 35.
Yeah, I think that she aired on the side of old and was 10 years short.
Yeah. Number 18, Ric Flair's girlfriend.
At first, we thought it was Ric Flair.
Yeah, well, he did come out first with his music.
His music came on, and then he came out and was like, are they just putting Ric Flair into this? Like, he's an old man. He can go into a women's match. It's fine.
Hey, you can do it one way. You can do it the other.
Yeah.
Now, that is equality, to be fair.
Yeah, it's not equity.
Number 19, Chop. Mickey James.
Mickey James, who they appear to be trying to make retire, even though she doesn't want to.
Again, I don't know why your women's roster's not that deep.
Well, it is really deep if you use it properly. But they don't. They've probably got 20 people in NXT. They've probably got 10.
Listen, I am not counting NXT on this.
Yeah.
I'm just talking Raw and SmackDown.
That's why I mean if you use them properly. Because they've got the bodies. There's loads of them haven't even debuted on NXT who are really good.
Number 20, Nikki Cross. Again, someone who's not being used.
Yeah, not used properly.
21, Jack's favourite person to go for a drink with, Alicia Fox.
Alicia Fox. Yeah. I'd love to go out drinking with Alicia Fox. She seems fun. Although, based on what they said, I hope that she isn't drinking.
Yeah. Is that the best thing that came out of 205 Live? It's just Alicia Fox. And that's it.
Poor Noam.
I'm saying that as if it stopped. It's still going.
Yeah.
Do you watch it? I don't.
No one does.
To be fair, I thought it got merged with NXT.
No,
just
still
the
going.
belt. Just the belt.
They had some of the women's Dusty Cup matches were on it.
Yeah, you know what's really weird? You say that the Cruiserweight belt was merged with NXT, but Jordan Devlin's still defending it on NXT UK.
Yeah, I heard that. I haven't watched any of NXT UK, but he is back. They did mention him on commentary on NXT this week.
Did they mention why he was away for a while?
Nope.
No. He never went anywhere. Shut up. Want to fight about it?
He's Irish, that's why he disappeared for a bit.
No, it's one of those things. At this point, I'm expecting, to be honest, I just expect WWE to be propped up by the Lucha House Party, by them doing NXT 205 Live and the main roster as well.
Yeah, but where is Kalisto?
He's off doing Lucha things in our Lucha place.
Yeah, and blocking people on Twitter who
keep asking, and hey, what happened? Where's Kalisto?
Number 22, Mandy Rose.
Mandy Rose, who is someone who I could see winning a Rumble one day.
Her entrance was not slow enough for the 8K camera. We should have been given more time to appreciate that.
Yeah.
The camera. When I say that, I mean the camera. Just, I'm not referring to her as a that.
23, which was... It's a toss-up between her and Toni Storm for the worst NXT entrant for the Rumble this year. Dakota Kai came in, did nothing, got eliminated.
Yeah, she wasn't done particularly well, but it doesn't really matter to me because I love Dakota Kai. I think she's great.
Yeah.
24, fresh off trying to kill herself, Carmella.
I'll be honest, I wondered where the fuck you were going for a second.
Jesus. Fuck.
I thought I'd missed something and it was all going to be horrible. No,
I failed at suicide. Best be in the Rumble then.
Fuck.
And at number 4 in the men's Rumble, Tim White.
No, Mr. White, that's not wise.
No, I was going to say, I always hate this spot because she would have had to be entered into the Rumble before she lost her title match. So that means that she expected to lose in kayfabe.
Yeah.
If you have a title match on the same night, you shouldn't be allowed to be in the Rumble. And I know they haven't got enough people, especially in the women's Rumble. But
still.
She was also in for the least amount of time at 47 seconds.
Well, I suppose that kind of makes sense. She was tired. And she'd been drinking. I mean, she started drinking on the pre-show.
Yeah, she was drinking.
That's not a great idea before a world title match. That really devalues the SmackDown Women's Championship.
And not just your coordination. I mean, drinking that stuff, just for bubbles alone.
I just be burping all the time and the stomach cramps.
Number 5, Tamina. Anyway.
Yeah. How does she keep wangling these great spots? They teased Tamina versus Nia again. Who thinks that people care about this match? Because they keep doing it.
This pissed me off. The fact that Nia and Shayna won the tag titles earlier that night and they thought, you know what we need to do in the Rumble? Tease dissension. Oh, what? She's your cousin, is she? Yeah, but I'm your tag team partner.
Yeah.
I'm that tag team partner that you don't really like.
Yeah, but fuck you. 26, Lana.
She's
who
back.
was a surprise entrant.
Technically, although it wasn't a surprise.
Yeah.
They did the thing they needed to do. She eliminated Nia. And they did have to do that. It was I would by no means say it was a good story, but that did at least end the story.
Yeah. Number 27, Alexa Bliss. Her elimination was beyond strange.
Yeah, it was weird. I kind of liked it in a way because of one bit. And that's because she was about to turn into the thing that is meant to be unbeatable. And Rhea just goes, nope. Before you change, I'm going to throw you out. And because that's what you should do.
Yeah. Just get rid of the threat.
Yeah, just, there you go.
I like the thing that I didn't get was everyone ran, started beating her up, and then just walked away.
Yeah, because when they all got round her, I said on the chat, are they gonna like all get round her and then she's gonna do the like Big Show throwing 12 people off spot, and she is Fiend Bliss? Because I thought, well, it's not live; they could film it to make that work. But no, just they all beat her up and then just leave her alone. Okay.
Let's all walk away now. Number 28, Ember Moon.
They've missed so many chances to do something good with her, and they appear to still be doing so.
Yeah. 29 was Nia.
Well, she wasn't going coast to coast in a Rumble match, was she? Let's be honest.
At number 30, as we all know after watching backstage and being entirely thrilled by the match, Natalya.
I was fully expecting it to not be Natalya.
Yeah, especially when Shayna and Nia beat her up on the outside before she got in the ring.
Yeah.
And then she
But,
came in for 2 minutes, eliminated no one.
But
Well
was in the
done,
final four.
Well done, number fucking 30.
Yeah.
Now, have you seen what's been going round on Twitter?
No, I have not.
Racism and hatred, I imagine.
Yes,
Yes.
lots and lots of that.
It's a still image.
Oh, that image, I have seen it.
Bianca Belair's feet, where one of them is not touching the ground, but people are claiming both feet touch the floor.
I must admit, I do remember the spot, and I do remember thinking, did she land on the floor then? So it was really close. It's basically because they were hanging off the ropes, and she's too tall to do that.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what you need for that is VAR.
Yeah.
Stop the rumble. The ref needs to check the monitor. To be fair, that spot, I fucking hated that spot. They kicked each other and then both of them looked at each other and went, right, no, let's stop. Let's both get back in the ring. Cat. She wasn't in the rumble.
No, you see, I disagree. I liked that spot. They were both in a position where they couldn't really do anything about it, and because they are both faces and respect each other, went, right, we should fight properly, and just got back. I didn't mind that as a character moment. I thought it worked.
Yeah. To be fair, this was the strongest you could make Rhea look as well without her winning. I think she had a really good rumble.
Yeah. And I was very happy with the final two, as I only had money on two people in the Women's Rumble, and it was Bianca and Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. So, Bianca winning. The right call?
Absolutely.
Out of everyone in that match?
Yeah. Honest to God, I think in 2 years, or to be honest, even by WrestleMania, but I think within like the next year or two, she will be the biggest star on the women's side. Like, I think she can do absolutely everything. Her promos are fantastic, as long as they're not too scripted. But
yeah, I was just going to say, just let her be herself enough. Don't make it a 10-minute long promo.
Oh yeah, like I still remember so well the interaction between her, Charlotte, and Rhea in the build-up to Mania last year, and just the line "You don't even go here" was just. It was such a good line. Like, she's great.
Yeah. There's part of me that's really like expecting WWE somewhere down the line to do a hair versus hair match with her where she has to lose the fucking massive long ponytail because it's WWE, and why wouldn't they?
They do seem to have really cut back on that hair whip spot.
I fucking wonder why.
Oh, I know that like whenever she did it, you could see the marks on people. But I'm hoping that they need to keep that spot there, just not do it that often. But I haven't seen it in ages. But because it looks awesome. And I know it must be an awful thing to take because it must hurt like fuck. But yeah, it's awesome.
To be fair, if someone's going to take the whip spot, probably going to be Sasha Banks.
Oh, yeah, because Sasha has absolutely no regard for her own well-being. None.
Chuck from RSH, you'll be going live later as well to give their opinions on the Royal Rumble, so stick around and watch that. Says he wants to see someone cut it off. I want to see someone cut you off. Fuck off. Speaking of beef, Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns.
Now, I decided this, because it was, I believe after this match, they then threw to the panel, and I decided that was the most appropriate time for me to take a 20-minute nap.
Yeah, and your fucking alarm, I thought your house was burning down.
As a damn good alarm, you can see why I never miss work. I barely go to work, but I never miss it.
Okay.
Sorry. His wife cuts her off every single night. Who is she? Lorena Bobbitt. That's an old reference.
Alex, do you even get that reference?
No, I just closed my eyes.
Lorena Bobbitt cut John Wayne Bobbitt's cock off and threw it in a field or something. And the reason that I know is he appeared on Raw as Val Venus's mate in like 1998 or 9.
Jesus. Yeah, at this rate, I mean, it was a good match, and to be honest, Casey, you did pick the worst time to go to. You probably could have taken a 20-minute nap halfway through the Women's Rumble, and it would have been a better time to take a nap than this match.
See, I think I timed it really well because I went to sleep, missed most of the panel, and within about 30 seconds to a minute of waking up, Kevin Owens was being launched through a table from behind the Thunderdome Universe LED super boards or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
KFC honey barbecue mustard.
Gotta be Domino's pre-show.
Yeah. Archie put KO versus Roman was such a good match with a horrible ending. I'm disappointed that nobody took advantage of the 100 tall ladders leaning against the wall backstage.
Yeah, that's pretty much right. This match was excellent until the handcuff spot. But like Kevin Owens, I just love watching Kevin Owens matches. I hate last man standing matches, and this was still good.
Yeah, the one thing that I do have a gripe with is Kevin Owens gets thrown off where the fans are to those tables, which they did the spot on SmackDown a couple of weeks ago. Then he gets run over by a golf cart, and he thought,
can we just stop there and appreciate how good that spot was?
Yeah, like, which was better, that one or the Sammy Guevara one?
That one.
Oh, no, I fucking loved that one. It looked like a train going through Kevin Owens. Oh, it was brilliant. And again, like, it was one of those things because of the camera angle it was at. You could kind of assume something was coming out of nowhere, essentially, and that something coming out of nowhere was Roman Reigns in a golf buggy.
In fairness, for running people over, it's a family tradition.
Yeah, but he got run over by a golf cart, and his idea of how to get back at him was, I'll hit him with this clipboard.
Well, you just got to use what's to hand, mate.
Yeah, he got him down, didn't he?
There was one thing, like, because I clearly haven't paid attention to the arena they're using, but the idea of them going backstage and me just go, holy fuck, there's an entire baseball stadium there.
Well, you know, they're in a baseball stadium.
There's another ring.
You don't see the baseball stadium. They're in like a little room off to the side.
Yeah, it was weird seeing it backstage. I know Archie, when we were in a chat for the Buzz, and Archie's only comment was, God, look at the floor. I bet that's a bastard to put down.
Yeah. It probably is.
It will have been, to be fair. Some of the spots, obviously him getting thrown out of the Thunderdome crowd through the tables was a really good spot. The swanton through the table, the golf cart. There was loads of really great spots in this, and in principle, the final spot would have been all right as well.
Yeah, if Heyman could figure out how to unlock those handcuffs.
Just use some gimmicked handcuffs. It's not real. Just use ones with just a little catch on it that you can just undo.
Yeah, but the ref 7. Come on now. Come on.
Because
I'm going to walk away.
You can see the ref look off at someone who's just like, I'm at 7, guys. Huh? But then, because my first thought is, why is Heyman going after the handcuff that's going to be stuck in the middle of the pillar? Go for the one that's on his wrist.
I think
it's easier to access.
I think that he tried both and just failed. Now, obviously, Paul Heyman is very, 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 very good, but it just appeared that he just made a bollocks of this.
Man's not good with a tiny key. Can I just say as well? I think my favorite spot. I'll say spot. I'm using that term very loosely here. Of the match came when Roman he spear Owens through the LED boards, and then you're kind of looking into the darkness, and I think you even said, Jack, that it's not that well lit back there, so you don't really realize where Owen's laying, and the count gets to 9, and Owen just rolls off the side of the stage onto his feet, like really nonchalantly at 9. And I absolutely love that. Just 9, no, fine, because he just rolls to floor level, and he's like, there we go.
Yeah.
Not even ring awareness, that's arena awareness.
Something we didn't actually mention in the Women's Rumble, and we noticed it because of the backstage bit. Becky Lynch tweeting the photo of Gorilla, and when they went backstage, it was the exact same curtain.
Yeah,
it's just the same thing.
You want to wind up.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with the WWE setup is it all comes from the same lorry, so there's not going to be any sort of changing of these things. Like, bearing in mind, whenever you watch these shows, it's the exact same arena every time at this point. So
she probably asked Seth to take a photo of it and just send it her.
Yeah, they also could have done that.
She might have been thinking about this like last year. Like, nah, long game, guys, long game.
Yeah, the ending, the choking out spot. Yeah, to be fair, with all the punishment Owens had been through, fair enough for him not getting up. But it was every time you went, right, that's the finishing spot. That's the finishing spot. And then when that one was, you went, what?
Yeah. You see, I think finishing it with the guillotine choke is absolutely fine if it doesn't have the blown spot before it. But that just sucked all the energy out of the match. It's a shame because up until then it really was good. But
yeah. So we go into the main event for the Royal Rumble, and we have run quite long here. So
yeah, we'll have to go through this one fairly quick.
Edge wins, see ya.
Fuck off. Spoilers.
Listen, I'm sorry, but if you're listening to our podcast as a way to learn about what happened in the Royal Rumble, I feel really sorry for you.
Yeah, at least listen to one of the ones that records straight after the Rumble.
Yeah, like we said for the Women's Rumble, I didn't pay attention to backstage, didn't want to know. So 1 and 2 are Edge and Orton.
Although what I would say is on backstage, number 1 was Orton and number 2 was Edge.
You had one job. One job. Yeah, but it wouldn't have made sense, for Orton to come out first and then get out the ring and chase after Edge. Yeah. It made sense the other way around.
Yeah.
Number 3, Sami Zayn. Number 4, at first I thought it was Slapjack, but it turns out it was Mustafa Ali.
Mustafa Ali, again, deserves better.
Yeah. Number 5, Jeff Hardy, who had my favourite spot of the night, which was he got eliminated, tried to jump over the barricade where no one could see him, but the hard cam was still on him. Just eliminate, springed up.
I still haven't seen this. Like, I completely missed that, but
I didn't see it either.
But you were kind of marking out about that.
I thought it was fucking hilarious because he thought he'd got away with it, and then all of a sudden you just saw this arm holding like a shirt going over. Just right, so he's not walking over the ramp. Then he's jumping the barricade.
There was a lot of outside the ring spots in this Rumble. Obviously, the main one, Edge and Orton brawling. What was it? There was the Agio on the table and he hurts his knee and disappears backstage. They're not allowed to do, if there's any sense, in a Battle Royal or the Royal Rumble, someone is injured, goes away, or goes under the ring and hides or whatever and comes back at the end. They're banned from doing that spot for 10 years. They just do it in every single one.
Yes, so next year's Women's Rumble, someone gets injured.
They'll do it in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. That's how long. That's their level of restraint. They'll do it again in 3 months.
Yeah, but this time someone will go through the announce table at least.
Yeah.
Number 6, Dolph Ziggler. Yay. Number 7, Shinsuke, who I really thought was going to have a great Rumble.
I didn't think he was going to win, but I did think he'd have a big run.
Yeah, Casey picked it right, dickhead. Number
I
8.
know. Listen, I know how those bastards think.
Number 8, Mr. Cool himself, Carlito.
Yeah, looking awesome.
Yeah. The look that I always remember Carlito with is that just before he left, where he had the mustache and goatee. So it really threw me off to see him clean shaved.
Yeah,
Like I always felt by that point he'd kind of given up because he'd gone from wearing the sort of fitted shorts to he was wearing baggy pants by that point as well. I was like, I don't even care anymore.
To be fair, I'd give up if I were teaming with Primo as well.
Poor
Hey.
Epico. Epico deserves better.
Number 9, Xavier Woods. If you didn't see New Day's attire, do go have a look at it. Though it was a lovely tribute to Brody Lee.
Yeah, it was good, and it was a. I know that he couldn't be in it, but it was nice seeing Kofi there, so they could all do it.
Yeah. Number 10, Big E, because you know what they need to do in Royal Rumbles is, you know, these people that used to be tag teams, they have to have them enter so far apart from each other that it looks like they're right next to each other.
Yeah. Now it was good seeing the New Day in there, but again, 3 months ago I thought Big E was in with a real chance, and by the time the match came around, I didn't think there was any.
Well, because there was part of the thinking was like, all right, they're holding off on Big E's push until Royal Rumble season. All right, they're just going to book him really strong in the Royal Rumble, and then they're going to put him over like Rover. And now you're there like,
for him,
God, he's in the Entree Battle Royal.
Yeah, I was just saying, unfortunately for him. I mean, it's not unfortunate because it is a good thing. But I thought, oh, he's in with a chance until he won the IC belt, and then I thought, oh, he isn't, because he's mid card now.
To be honest, I could imagine he'll be the favourite to win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, Braun is pretty much every year.
I would really hope he isn't, because I would hope that he's defending the Intercontinental title.
Poor hopeless Jack. No, he won't have the belt by then. I'm hoping that they're doing like the Drew McIntyre 18-month-long really slow build, as in we're not really going to do anything with him, but look at how big he is. And then eventually world title by like not the next WrestleMania.
They've been doing this for 6 years.
One after.
Number 11, John Morrison. Number 12, I don't know if he was announced or if he was a surprise. It's a surprise he's still there. Ricochet.
Well, right. I am assuming that this was the replacement for Keith Lee.
I imagine so.
Because Keith Lee was announced, and obviously me and him got COVID, so he'll have had to isolate. Fair enough. But Ricochet's story in the build-up to this was, you are not good enough to just declare for the Rumble. You have to beat AJ Styles in order to be in the Rumble. And then he lost to AJ Styles and was in the fucking Rumble. It would have made more sense to have Adam Pearce in it. Which wouldn't have made sense, but it would have made more sense than actively going against something you've shown on TV.
Yeah, but Jack, you know, I'm going to follow what Seth Rollins has said in a number of interviews. Let these stories play out first.
Yeah, let it play out. That's true.
You've got to let it play out. Like, give them some credit. I mean, I've forgotten her name now, but they have brought in someone to be the, I don't know if it's like joint head of creative or they are director of creative or something along those lines.
Yeah, I haven't. I heard something about this and didn't actually see who it was, but it's someone who's been like working in TV, isn't it?
Yeah, she said that her aim is to implement more long-term storytelling, and all I could think was good luck to you.
Yeah, a new senior vice president of creative writing operations, Christine Lebrano. I'm assuming that's who it is.
Yes. So, I dare to dream of bringing long-term writing in. Dare to dream. She's going to start talking about storyboarding, and people are going to be like, what?
Yeah.
Number 13, Elias.
Did not come out with a guitar.
No, it was weird. I'm sure this is the first Rumble where he's not come out and performed.
To be honest, it's just weird hearing his entrance music.
Yeah.
To be fair, I wouldn't know it was. I didn't know it was his entrance music until he was shown on TV. Number 14, Damian Priest.
Decent call up.
About time.
Yeah, you know, they booked him pretty strong, and he was booked pretty strong on Raw as well. So good early signs for him.
Nah, he was back on NXT by Wednesday.
Yeah, but so was Edge.
I know, right? Got to get in ring shape, brother.
Number 15, The Miz. Yeah. Number 16.
Every fucking year.
Number 16, Riddle. Because, you know, he's not got a first name anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Riddle, who a lot of people saw him as a can't miss prospect, but just watch him manage it.
He had a good Rumble.
Like, he was in for half an hour. One elimination.
Yeah, he did get that awesome bit of mat wrestling with Daniel Bryan. That was really good.
Yeah, because number 17, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Number 18, the man who's wore a mask for most of his career, but believes that you shouldn't wear masks. It's Kane.
Yeah. It was just going back to Daniel Bryan. I was, by this point, very much thinking Daniel Bryan was winning.
Yeah.
Like I was pretty sure at this point.
To be honest, I said this before. I thought Bryan was coming out one and was winning the Rumble. Unfortunately, I was wrong about Bryan being one, but Edge being one and winning the Rumble. So now they can mention two names instead of, you know, just Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the lovely. Well, I say they had the lovely spot. They do it every time Bryan and fucking Kane are in the ring now. They had a hug because fuck social distancing.
Yeah, it was good that they decided to have a tag team reunite and hug, because it's not like because luckily they didn't have a much more interesting version of that planned later in the same match.
Yeah, because King Corbin came out and reunited his tag
D-Lo.
team. King Corbin came out at 19 and reignited his tag team, you know, with Dolph Ziggler.
Like, was it Knights of the Lone Wolves?
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Just missing Bobby Roode there. Yeah, Corbin, who got the elimination on Nakamura as well. Fuck you,
yeah. Casey. I'll tell you what, that's how you bury someone in the... Just, you know that guy you liked from the Indies and from Japan? Yeah, well, Baron Corbin's going to eliminate him, and there's nothing you can do about it.
You don't like what you think you like. Number 20, again, another person I did not know he'd changed theme music. It's Otis.
Yeah, Otis. He's dropped a long way, hasn't he?
Yeah. In less than a year.
Like that, and that was the thing going into last year's WrestleMania, was that the angle with Mandy Rose and Dolph and Sonya was actually one of their better stories of the year.
It was the best booked angle that they had going into Mania.
Yeah.
It wasn't the highest profile one, but it was the best one. It made sense all the way through.
Now, you know how they have a hard time booking like first-time baby faces as world champions?
Mm.
They were booking his relationship with Mandy in the same manner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, he's just going to lose. How do you lose a relationship? Well, we're going to book it anyway.
Number 21, Dominic Mysterio. Before we do get to him, Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio becoming the first father-son pair to be in the same Royal Rumble.
Ah, cool.
I mean...
I was just thinking, were Finlay and Hornswoggle not in the same one?
No, I think Finlay were gone by then.
How about Mantar and El Torito?
I'm trying to think who else you could do that with.
They could have done it with Dusty and Dustin.
Yeah, and so long as no one blades, they could have done it with Bob Orton and Randy Orton.
Fuck. Yeah. Paul Bearer and Kane.
Like the people I can think of at the moment, it's all AEW talent. You know,
they should have
Billy
done
Gunn
it
and
with
his son. It's Taz and his son Hook.
Yeah,
should have done it with Ric Flair and Charlotte. Is that what you're about to say?
No, I was going to say they should have done it with Ric Flair and David Flair.
Yeah. Oh God,
back when David Flair was getting beat up in toilets by the Undertaker.
Yeah, they could have done it with.
Go teach you some respect, boy.
They could have done it with Jerry Lawler and Brian Christopher.
No, because they're not father and son.
Again, I'm saying now, and you keep mentioning people who are dead.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about past. Brian Christopher and his own.
But that's a bit grim.
Number 22, Bobby Lashley. Good old Bobbo. Yeah. 23, someone that they've overused as a return now, the Hurricane.
Yeah, how does he keep doing this?
What, appearing everywhere?
Yeah, like appearing in AEW and stuff like that, and they all just keep letting him. Is it because like the action figure rights are worth a load of money or something? Like,
I think he's probably just a nice guy, and they just go on.
It looked like he messed himself up on that when he got thrown out though. It looked like he hurt his ankle.
Yeah. But we all called it straight away as soon as he went to do the choke. The fucking choke slam spot. Again.
Yeah, they've done it too many times.
We get it.
It was awesome.
Moment with Triple H and Steve Austin. It's not the same now.
Yeah, it was great when he did it to Triple H and Austin. And when he came back and did it the first time, that was awesome too. Because it was like, that's a good callback.
You remember that we remember.
But you can't just keep doing it over and over again. It don't work.
Essentially, he's now it's like a new Peter Kay show. It's just like, remember that time I said garlic bread? Oh, funny that one. Yeah.
Number 24, my favourite return. If he hadn't have won a world title, he would be in everyone's boy stable. Christian.
This was fucking awesome. This was by far the best thing about the Rumble.
Fucking Edge is laid in the ring and he's crying.
I was so delighted to see him back. When he came out, we were all like, oh, awesome. And I remember saying, just wait, because he probably won't take an actual bump. And then he just started wrestling like it was 15 years ago. I was like, oh my God, he's actually back.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that he's going to do a lot going forward, because based on that performance, if they don't use him and sign him to a proper contract, AEW will.
Apparently, he signed a part-time deal.
Sorry if you don't sign him, Sky will.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. I don't know if you saw what Edge's wife Jillian Hall tweeted. So, when she tweeted, it's like him, hi babe, it's date night. What do you want to do? And then her just go, you know what? We've spent a lot of time together recently. Why don't you go have a guy's night out? And then it's just like Edge and Christian from like 2000s high-fiving each other. Like, yeah, high fives rule, guys. I was so happy. Like, I'm so happy to see Christian, just because I know he is certainly wanted to kind of at least finish on his own terms. Now, whether there will kind of be anything else or whether this was it, like, at least he was given that opportunity.
Yeah, that's the main reason I'm glad he's back, because he never got a retirement.
Yeah.
And it was such it was basically a bit of a lame duck of a ending. So
yeah,
at least now he'll get to have a good run.
It was that weird thing, because for like 2 or 3 years, they just never acknowledged that he wasn't allowed to wrestle. Yeah, like, obviously, a lot of guys in that situation get a bit of a send off. His was just like, okay, he's just off TV now, and he might wrestle again, and then just didn't.
Yeah. I haven't checked this for myself, but I did hear, I think it was Sean Ross Sapp said it. Apparently, his last match before this ending, he earned a shot at the Intercontinental title.
I saw this because I don't know if it's him. Someone shared on Twitter. It's an image of him and Big E having a stare down with the Intercontinental belt. Because I think Big E was the champion then as well. So
yeah, do that.
Yeah,
I mean, also at one of the shows soon, do Edge and Christian versus. I mean, I'm assuming the rumor is, and I think it probably will be, that Edge is going to challenge Roman. So
Yeah,
Edge and Christian versus Roman and Jay.
See, to me, I even think it'll be Edge and Christian versus the Usos. I think they'll have Jimmy and Jay.
Oh yeah, fair. And Roman will have a title defense against someone that he'll win against fairly easily.
No, but then you could bring Roman into it, and then you bring Kurt back, and you have Team Ek.
Team Ek. Bring back Rhino. Team Wreck.
Yeah, I'm like, who else? What other relatives has Roman? Get that lad in from MLW. Get him in so we can have the 4v4.
Oh, I thought you were going to go down the Tyson Tomko route then.
What? To be part of Roman Reigns' team?
Yeah, although, this rate.
I suppose, I mean, as far as I'm aware, Tomko's fine. So you could still do the Christian Coalition. AJ Styles is right there.
God, if that got mentioned on WWE TV, that'd be brilliant.
Speaking of the Christian Coalition, number 25, AJ Styles.
Yep.
No acknowledgement of their time together.
AJ coming out with Omos, who pissed me off.
Got more eliminations than AJ.
Yeah, look, the catching him and putting him back in, fine. I'm absolutely fine with that spot. Even him, if he'd have low bridged the ropes, I could have lived with that. But he just reached in and pulled people out. I hate that. It's shite.
26 was Ray. 27, I forgot he was even in the match. Sheamus.
Who then, of course, they've in the least surprising news in the world. Oh my God, he's turned on Drew.
Yeah, like no one saw.
Best friends for 20 years, and you saw that for like
a couple of months.
4 months. Yeah. And sometimes they fought during that time as well.
28 was Cesaro.
Deserves better.
Yeah.
To be fair, WWE did a good job here because I forgot about Seth Rollins, but him coming out at 29, I went, oh yeah, of course, Seth.
On the subject of Cesaro, have you seen the report that apparently his contract's up after Mania?
Oh, go to AEW.
Which probably explains him getting a little bit of a push.
With Cesaro, I don't know if he will at this point of his career, but Jesus, he'd be great in New Japan now.
That's what I would have said. Because
I think you say Impact.
I mean, he would be great in Impact, but I don't see that happening. I could see him at the now that AEW and New Japan are apparently working together by the looks of it. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've listened to it, Jack. There was a recent episode of Rewind Away was about the Vince McMahon interview with Steve Austin on the WWE Network, which was 2014.
The brass ring one.
Yes, the bit with Cesaro, one with the millennials aren't millennials. They're lazy. They expect things to be done for them. Not enough people are reaching for the brass ring. Cesaro is foreign, so he can't get over.
Yeah,
and you're just listening to stuff going, oh God, like. There is part of me just want to just look at Cesaro and go, and you stuck around, did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many people have you been in a tag team with since?
Well, it's one of it. I think he likes most of the people he works with. He makes good money. His wife works for the company. There's a lot of things about it that work.
Yes, but for Vince to turn around and go, yeah, he's not connecting with the audience because he's foreign, and the fact that he was still getting huge pops, he was fucking connecting with the audience. What the fuck are you on about?
Yeah, they did the same with Rusev, didn't he? So
Oh
just
yeah,
a thing.
Rusev's not over. The chanting over.
I like how being foreign is only an issue if you're a babyface.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, when you're in your 70s and an old white guy, maybe you don't see foreigners as the face. Or if you're in a lot of Western countries this last 5 years.
So yeah, 29 was Seth Rollins, but we all expected him to come back. And 30 Braun Strowman. God.
Yeah.
Have him come back, murder
They've really
a couple of
taken the
people.
luster off number 30.
Yeah. I suppose when there's no crowd, if you're going to do that any year, this was the year.
I think because Edge won from 30 this year, there's
From
been
30?
more from 1 this year. There's been more winners from number 1 than there has 30 ever. Because I think it was joint at one point.
Yeah, I think it was 2-2, wasn't it?
And now there's been more winners from 1 than there has 30.
Well, the big number was always 27, and that was Sheamus. He was in for just short of 6 minutes and eliminated. No, never mind.
See, I always thought it was 24. I don't know why, but
it was always 27 that had the most winners from it. For I don't know if it still is, but that was the case for a while.
I think it still is, and unless it changed with this one, and I don't think it did. Number 9, Ruby, and number 9, Xavier Woods. Yeah, the worst number in the Rumble history is number 9. It's never had a winner. It's never had anyone in the Final 4.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, the Rumble itself this year, I think the pay-per-view was incredibly strong. And yes, everyone liked seeing Carlito and seeing Christian. But the men's Rumble itself,
it was a bit weak through the middle. Was the men's Rumble?
The long-standing issue was that despite the fact you'd had people announcing that they were going to enter the Rumble, no one went into that match with like a hot streak behind them or anything. Like Bryan lost a couple of matches in the build-up to it, and he was, until Edge announced, he was the main story going into it.
Yeah.
AJ Styles, I think he beat Bryan, but he didn't have much of a run. Now, I suppose if you've got someone like Omos there, you can kind of get away with it. But you kind of want at least 2 people from each show where you'd be like, okay, these guys are your contenders, and you can still pick just from understanding how wrestling works at this point, but give me something. It would have been great if you go into this say, Big E, he's not lost in 6 weeks now. As opposed to their term, he's got momentum of, well, he lost the last 4 weeks, but he won this week, so he has momentum now, because that's how that works.
Yeah, because of that Daniel Bryan story, when Rollins threw him out, quite unceremoniously as well, just straight over, no build to it, really. I was very surprised. The only problem was that the second Daniel Bryan got thrown out, I thought, Edge is winning then. I couldn't see anything else. Because even with us all sitting there when it got down to the last 4, going, yeah, but Orton's coming back. Yeah, but Orton's coming back. I thought they cannot possibly have Orton win again. They just can't.
They kept mentioning it though. They kept going, and Steve Austin's the only man to ever win 3 Rumbles. And the part of you were going, they did this that time. Who were it? Wyatt, Reigns, and Orton that were the last 3, and everyone went, "Oh, anyone but Reigns," and Orton won, and everyone went, "Ah, right."
Yeah, that was one of the many times they've done that. Of Orton, people won't be happy if Orton wins, but if we make him and Roman the last 2, people will be happy that Orton won.
Yeah, if they had Goldberg come into this and he eliminated Goldberg last, yes. I'm happy to see Edge win. The reports are that if Keith Lee had have been in the Rumble, he was winning it.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I buy that, to be honest. In fact, I don't buy that at all.
Again, someone who just wins one week, loses the next, and it's all really inconsequential.
It would have been like when Nakamura won, that he probably wouldn't have won at Mania, and his momentum would have been killed.
Do you think Edge is winning at Mania?
No.
Because I think he's facing Roman, I also think no. Right, I always mix up which one's which.
Roman is on SmackDown.
Yeah, Roman is Universal Champion, right?
Yeah.
Right, so it should be that one, because he lost the World Heavyweight title without actually losing it. And the Universal title replaces that, because the WWE title's still going.
Yes, I liked his line on NXT last night of he was him, Pete Dunne, and Finn Balor in the ring, and he just turns to Finn and goes, "I will be watching because NXT title is a title I've never held. You've never held the Universal title either."
Yeah, by the way, Kissy, it was you that I was speaking to yesterday. Was it you that told me that Edge was having a tag match on NXT?
Yes, that was But that's what was advertised.
It was a fake WWE account that everyone fell for.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but because I never checked Twitter, you said it, and then I went to catch up with it today, and I was like, oh, he didn't have a match then. Oh, did something go wrong? And then apparently it was a massively viral fake tweet. It went everywhere, and like several actual, like one of the people that works for Fightful retweeted it and things like that. It just went everywhere.
Of every match though, for like him and Damian Priest versus Balor and O'Reilly. All right, okay.
I'd have liked to have seen that, to be fair. That sounds like a really good match.
It would be fun if he did go for the NXT title. It'd be fun, but it wouldn't make any sense.
2 years in a row, one of the Rumble winners goes for an NXT
else gets. This is just a way to keep Karrion Kross down. Because Edge wins the title, and he's just like, fucking, I just want to run.
What's keeping Karrion Kross down is his fucking shoulder. That's it. He's done.
Yeah, that and the fact that he is currently feuding with Santos Escobar, because feuding with the Cruiserweight Championship, is that what Karrion Kross really needs? Why isn't he just... His entire gimmick right now should be, give me a title shot, I want a title shot, it's my title.
Where's my title shot?
Gay.
Kick spin at William Regal. William Regal has amnesia. Chaos ensues. William Regal wakes up, thinks he's Stephanie McMahon.
I'm sure we'll be back soon to break down the whole where we think Edge is going to go. And possibly...
Alex, sorry to cut you off, bro, but we're not done there. We're not done there. There's something you're forgetting. We've got a sweepstake to tally up.
Oh.
Because, shock horror, we didn't do well.
I know I got one right.
I will say, this is how well the women's match went. There was only one category where there was a winner, and that was the length of the match, and even that's just because it was whoever gets closest.
Yeah.
So, for the men's match, Alex, you won the length of the match, getting closest with 1 minute, 2 seconds.
1 minute and 2 seconds.
Sorry, 1 hour, 2 minutes, my bad. Then onto the unannounced. Myself and Jack both got points for... I picked Damian Priest, Jack picked Carlito. Alex, for some reason, picked Rob Van Dam. That went terribly. Rob Van Dam did not appear. Although he could have been behind a big haze of smoke. Who knows? Who eliminated Shinsuke Nakamura? We've already covered. I got that one because, of course, it was Baron Corbin. Number of eliminations by the New Day. Alex, you went for 1. I went for 6. Jack, you were dead on with 4.
Hey.
And none of us guessed who number 22 was, strangely. None of us, for the women's match, none of us guessed what number Mandy Rose was going to come in. None of us guessed who was going to be number 7. None of us got the correct answer for number of eliminations by Bianca Belair. because despite being in it for the majority of the match, she only got 3. The last unannounced, none of us got either. And Jack, you were the winner of the length of the match, guessing 58-23.
That sounds like a victory to me.
Yeah, 3-2. And Alex, you can fuck off. You got 1.
I should have known that RVD wasn't going to be in it. There was already a stoner in the match in Riddle. And weirdly enough, he entered at, well, what's 4 minus 20? 16.
Minus 16.
20 minus off.
Hook off.
I'm guessing this is Josh on the buzz account. Alex losing was the theme of the Royal Rumble. Fuck off.
Did you lose?
You know what? I lost by the final 4 of the men's Rumble.
So does that mean that you're in a bit of trouble?
No.
I thought that you might be having to lose your hair.
Yeah, I was going to put that on the line, and then I thought about it and went, no.
Oh, well, good decision.
If I had, I wouldn't have picked the picks that I did. I wouldn't have gone out. Mercedes Martinez will be in the final 4 of the women's Rumble. You know, that one that didn't enter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll be back pretty soon to talk about where we think Edge is going to go. I think we'll probably all say Roman, but we'll see how it plays out. We haven't seen him appear on. Well, he'll be appearing on Friday on SmackDown. Apparently, Edge is going to do a Charlotte and appear on every show every week from now to WrestleMania.
I mean, I was going to say, I can tell you where Edge is going. He even pointed at something that would tell you. To WrestleMania, pal.
Oh.
Yeah. Imagine if they hung a sign for Fastlane that he's like, I'm going to Fastlane.
Just you saying that reminded me of when they had the Great Balls of Fire sign and they cut it off so it said eat ass.
So I'm going to run a quick buzz commercial and then we'll be getting the fuck out of here.
War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Bringing that to competitors. Till we see the confetti fall, be ready for war. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Bringing that to competitors. Till we see the confetti fall, be ready for war. Tell them I'm ready, any opponent. The crown heavy and every minute it's chosen. A path only fit 4 kings, and you all know what this court means. What did you enlist for? If it isn't getting more rings, then you gon' have to switch your team. Trust me, it gets more mean. I'm a nightmare going up against your dreams. First step is explosive like a bomb hit. Bet if I let it fly, I cannot miss. And you ain't got a chance at the top 10 when you getting clamped all night by your locksmith. On the block throwing lobs to my top bigs. I'm a chef, no look, what's the top dish? Tie game, through the pressure as the clock ticks. Crossover, step back, hit a shot, swish. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Bringing that to competitors. Till we see the confetti fall, be ready for war. This is how champions are made, but it never happens in a day. It's all hard work, but it's why what happens when we play 9 out of 10 times. I'ma left you.
Do you want to create some beef before we leave?
Always.
No.
Armchair Wrestling is ready for war, and RSH, we're coming for you.
That wouldn't create beef with them. That would create beef with everyone.
Yeah. If you want to stick around and listen to some more wrestling opinions, stay on the buzz because in an hour and a half's time there will be RSH going live, running down exactly what we have just done,
but better and more concise.
No, don't lie.
With
don't
less
lie
mention of AEW.
Yes, definitely. Well, I mean, now we mentioned it twice. That's
look,
2 times more than them.
Look, we've gone too long to talk about it, but Kenta showing up was fucking awesome.
Yes, and on that note,
Shows off.
What?
Mate, I watch on Fridays. Yes, bye.
Good time for his internet to die.
Yeah,
I
right.
can't wait till
Fuck off.
Friday to watch it. You're fucking ruining my shows now.
I literally have to go pick that fiance that we stole a hoodie from up.
Yeah. I'm guessing this is Josh.
You've got to
What the fuck
literally
is a
lift.
Kenta? You know,
I like
the
those
delay's
guys.
really helping here.
Yeah, it's really lagging out. So wait,
Yeah, if you want to follow us over on Twitter, it's Armchair Wrestle 1, and you can follow us on Instagram and on TikTok as well at Armchair Wrestling. And you can check out everything on The Buzz at WTB.com on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And make sure that you check out all the fantastic shows that are live on The Buzz. But that'll do us for this episode of Armchair Wrestling. I've been your host, as always, Top Boy Number Booker Alex Benson. I've been joined by Lukewarm Jack Robshaw.
in a bit.
And I'm going to call him the genetic freak, but that's a throwback. Mr. Soko Uncensored himself, KC.
Have a good one.